Hey everyone, so today we are diving into a topic that honestly sounds totally backward, but stick with me because it might just be one of the most important financial ideas you'll hear all year. We're talking about the pay-raise paradox. I mean, just think about that for a second. It sounds completely insane, doesn't it? You grind it out, you get that big promotion, you see a bigger number on your paycheck, and you think, yes, I'm finally getting ahead. But what if that exact moment, that feeling of success, is actually a trap that could sabotage you years down the road? And look, this isn't just some crazy theory I cooked up. This comes from serious financial researchers like Morningstar. They found that the raise itself isn't the problem, it's how we spend it that can make retiring comfortably way, way harder. So let's really dig in and unpack how this works. Okay, so to really get our heads around this paradox, we have to start with one massive idea that honestly trips up so many people, and that's the fundamental difference between income and wealth. They are not the same thing. Think of it this way. Income is like a river. It's this steady flow of cash that comes into your life every month. It's awesome. It pays the bills, and it is absolutely your most powerful tool for building wealth. But it's not wealth itself. Wealth, that's the reservoir. It's the stock of assets you build up over time. It's what you own, minus what you owe. That reservoir is what gives you real long-term financial security, not the size of the river flowing through your hands. And this isn't just theory. This comes from one of the most famous financial books ever, The Millionaire Next Door. The authors thought they'd find millionaires in the fanciest houses, driving the fanciest cars. But what they actually found was shocking. A lot of high-income people, we're talking doctors, lawyers, had massive salaries, but almost nothing to show for it in their reservoir. Their river was huge, but it was just flowing right back out again. And that led them to split people into two main groups. On one side, you've got the UAWs, the under-accumulators of wealth. These folks have a fantastic offense, a big salary, but their defense is terrible. They spend everything they make. On the other side, you have the PAWs, the prodigious accumulators of wealth. They might have a good offense, but their defense is absolutely incredible. They're all about saving and investing, turning that flowing river of income into a massive reservoir of wealth. So what is the number one killer of a good financial defense? It's this sneaky, quiet thing that happens to almost all of us when we get a raise. We need to talk about the danger of lifestyle creep. Lifestyle creep is it's so subtle, you barely even notice it happening. Your spending just slowly, quietly expands to meet your new income. That weekend takeout that used to feel like a special treat, now it's a Tuesday night regular. That reliable car, suddenly you're browsing for a luxury model. What used to be wants become needs, and your budget just magically absorbs every single new dollar you earn. And this chart right here, it shows the danger perfectly. Okay, look at the left side, before the raise. You see your assets, that's your savings, investments, all that good stuff. They're pretty close to meeting your total retirement goal. But now, look what happens on the right, after the raise. Because your lifestyle got more expensive, your retirement need, that top black line, it shot way up. Your assets grew a little bit, sure, but now there's this huge gap. You're actually further behind than you were before. It's crazy. And here's the behavioral trap that gets us. The research shows that even when we get a big raise, most of us just keep saving the same percentage of our income. So yeah, we might be saving more dollars, but because our whole lifestyle got more expensive, that same old savings rate isn't nearly enough to fund this new upgraded life in retirement. And this is where it gets really scary. The problem gets exponentially worse the older you are. Just look at this chart. If you're in your late 20s and you get a raise, you might need to save, say, 20% of that new money to fund your new lifestyle later on. But look what happens to someone in their late 50s. That line goes almost vertical. They need to save over 60% of that same raise. Why? Because their money has way less time to grow and compound. Time is everything. This feeling of making really good money, but still feeling like you're just treading water, it's become so common that it actually has a name. So I gotta ask you, are you a Henry? A Henry is a high earner, not rich yet. I mean, doesn't that just capture the feeling perfectly? It describes the exact person we've been talking about. Someone with a fantastic income from their job, but their balance sheet, their actual wealth, is surprisingly low. They're what you'd call income affluent, but asset poor. And this is not just some academic term, right? This is a real thing people are experiencing every day. Like this Reddit user says,
A young person making six figures is pretty much the textbook Henry. There's a ton of cash flowing through their bank account, but they haven't had the time or maybe the discipline to turn that cash flow into real assets.
And, well, sometimes a little humor sums it up best. This one: high earner, relatively poor, eating super noodles. I mean, it gets right to the heart of the paradox, doesn't it? You're making great money, but after paying for the expensive apartment, the car, the taxes, you still feel the financial squeeze. So why does this happen? What's the driving force? Well, financial expert Rachel Cruz absolutely nails it here. It's social pressure. As your income goes up, your circle of friends and colleagues tends to change. And all of a sudden, those expensive vacations and fancy dinners, they just start to feel normal. It's the keeping up with the Joneses effect, and it is a massive, silent drain on your finances.
Okay, so we've gone deep on the problem, but here's the really good news. This is 100% solvable. It's not about never getting a raise again, it's just about having a different game plan, a new playbook for when that raise hits your account. And it all comes back to this one simple, powerful idea from the Millionaire next door. The foundation of all wealth building is playing a great defense. That's it. It just means intentionally creating a space between what you earn and what you spend. That space, that gap, that's your profit. And that's the money you use to fill up your reservoir.
So what do you do with that new money from a raise? Here's a brilliant step-by-step plan. Before you even think about upgrading your lifestyle, you use that money to solidify your financial foundation. First, pump up your emergency fund. Then, destroy any high-interest debt you have. And number 3, this is crucial, boost your retirement savings. Pay your future self first. Then, once that's all taken care of, go ahead and treat yourself wisely. And if you want a really simple back-of-the-napkin rule to guide you, Morningstar came up with a fantastic one. It's a little formula to figure out exactly how much of your raise you can spend and how much you really ought to save to stay on track for retirement. Let's check out how it works. Okay, so let's walk through this. Let's say you're 30 years old. You've got about 35 years until you retire. Multiply that by 2. You get 70. So you can feel pretty good about spending 70% of your raise as long as you save the other 30%. But now look at the 55-year-old. They've only got 10 years left. 2 times 10 is 20. That means they should only spend 20% of their raise and save a whopping 80% of it. It's a simple rule that automatically accounts for the incredible power of time and compounding. So let's leave it with this. That next raise is coming. A raise isn't good or bad on its own, it's just a tool. It can be a powerful stepping stone that launches you toward financial freedom faster than ever before, or it can be a golden trap that locks you into an expensive lifestyle you can never afford to escape. It's all about the choice you make in that moment. Thanks for tuning in.